before Craig McDermott was branded International Cricketer of the Year, he was branded by a commercial company. His personal sponsor, Bartercard, saw a window of opportunity on McDermott's upper left thigh. And to comply with ACB rules, the company bought a clothing manufacturing firm. Now Billy's believed to be the world's first billboard for a company other than the traditional bat or cricket clothing manufacturers.
From next year, when Benson & Hedges are no longer the Australian sponsor, where we may get a corporate company sponsoring the company, which will want the players to do more than what Benson & Hedges have asked in the last 22 years as sponsors.
Get ready for this, sweetie.
It's part of the business-minded approach of the Craig Corporation.
I'm laughing at him. So there's no rush on this. It is a fact, Queensland and Western Australia.
And action, Craig.
When I retire, I want to be comfortable. So that's why I forgot my lines.
Over the last few years, McDermott has become one of the most professionally packaged cricketers in the world, forming a conglomerate of helpers, managers, masseurs, medicos, a personal trainer, accountant, solicitor and a support network of family and friends.
Without that support crew or group or whatever you want to call it, I mean, I've got to worry about those things then. That's, I suppose, the best part of the whole deal, that I can concentrate on my cricket and not worry about any facet of, life, I suppose.
He's encouraging younger players to do the same.
To definitely get themselves set up correctly outside the game, have some, particularly now players get paid well enough to survive outside of cricket, and, they need a good financial advisor and an accountant and maybe a solicitor, I suppose, to help with if they get any sponsorship contracts and so forth.
What he calls his team has helped him to one of the most intriguing comebacks in sport, when the explosively fast youngster found himself gradually sidelined from the mid-80s. The cricket establishment provided little comfort. That's when he turned to friend and Ironman Trevor Hendy for the inspiration to revamp his fitness and career. Since then, he's got down to business, the business of being Billy. But while McDermott worked on the product and the profit margin, he still had work to do on the image.
How would you say you were regarded 2 years ago?
Probably a regulation pain in the butt, I suppose, to be very blunt, I suppose. But
And now you're a reformed pain in the butt?
Yeah, basically. I didn't know I was like that. It took for my manager to tell me that, his assistant to tell me that, and my wife and everything to put together a package and say, look, this is what you're doing wrong, this is how we would like to improve it, and go from there.
And so maybe that's why he dropped into this pitch report as McDermott the Loon.
And I can tell you that I think now that this pitch is the best pitch in Australia. It has a little bit in it for...
Reappearing later as McDermott the Hoon.
If I get on well with guys who write editorials or write articles about cricket, obviously if I do get on well with them, they're going to be maybe more favourable to me the way they write, or if we want to get an editorial done about maybe one of my sponsors or whatever, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to get those things done.
He believes he's regarded in a warmer light by the public.
Well, I hope so, because I've worked hard at it, and basically, I'd just like to have a good, clean-cut image and a good sort of corporate image, which I hope I've got, and I think I've got, and at the end of the day, do well in my sport.
And that he has. This was the summer the Craig Corporation paid real dividends, yielding 32 Ashes wickets at 21, reaching second place on the Australian wicket takers list, and his second International Cricketer Award.
As it turned out, I've gone from being under pressure for making the Test team and end up International Cricketer of the Year, so it's a pretty handy year, I think.
McDermott's success has been forged with his super fitness. Turning 30, he's still widely regarded as the fittest in the team.
I'll probably get a swimming coach after this.
He's earned his physical shape with a new, almost new age, medical approach, trying anything that might work. Detoxification, acupuncture and kinesiology.
Kinesiology is using muscle testing to find out what's wrong with the body. So here I'm just checking the muscles of the low back. Push up hard. All right, see if they're working okay. Lift up here, push up hard. To the right, push up hard.
Dr Maitland's methods haven't been wholeheartedly embraced by cricket's conservative administration.
You know, I don't think that, you know, they're over the moon about it, I suppose, but, you know, it's whether I get 6 wickets matters to them.
I just think really it's ignorance. It's not, they don't really know. And I often say to people, I don't actually think athletes care who fixes them. They actually just want to get better.
That is slightly comprehensive.
No, I'm not pulling up stumps just yet. What I'm doing is investing in my future.
OK, so he's more like Lurch than Olivier. But he won't be relying on acting ability, luckily, in life after cricket, which he says is just 4 years away. One lucrative talent he does have is selling his hearth and home. For the 4th time in under 10 years, he's selling up, or rather his wife Susan is doing it for him.
He always seems to do it in time when he's not here. I moved in here when he was in South Africa, so that was very timely. He came home and everything was moved in, everything was finished.
This is McDermott's ultimate support group. Susan, daughter Brianna, and an uncannily similar Alistair, showing early signs of congenital injury. The new, relaxed McDermott is determined to stay that way on field, even as he lines up in the Windies for the sequel to the infamous '91 tour that saw him targeted verbally and physically. He insists sledging is no longer part of his armoury.
I've kept it pretty much out of my system for a while, you know. You still have the odd word to say. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't say anything, but, you know, with the rules the way they are now and the ICC and referees, and we've had some pretty harsh referees in the last 2 tours, so I'll just shut up and do my job.
And he's pretty sanguine about meeting Viv Richards. They haven't spoken since McDermott sledged him in his autobiography.
No, not really. I'm not really bothered talking to him either, really. I mean, we've got nothing in common, and we never have been friends, so there's no point starting now.
Good delivery, some good bowling from Craig McDermott, kept the pressure on, and finally burst through to the defence.
If it keeps going like the last 4 years, hopefully I'm getting better with age, you know, so the 30s are looking good.
Very thoughtful from Craig McDermott, and then up went the fast Yorker to knock the stumps all out of the ground.